NFL の元スターで、ヤンキースやブレーブスなど MLB でも活躍した二刀流アスリート、ディオン・サンダース氏が日本時間22日、ドジャースの大谷翔平を絶賛しました。複数の米メディアによると、現在コロラドでアメリカンフットボールのコーチを務めるサンダース氏は、定例の会見で大谷の驚異的な活躍について言及しました。リーグ優勝決定シリーズ第4戦で大谷が投手として10奪三振、打者として3本塁打を放ったことを知ると、全くありえないね。試合中に彼に MVP を渡せないのかと驚きをあらわにしました。その後も、彼はスポーツ界全体を通して史上最高の存在なのではないかという議論に自身の見解を示しました。この日、ドジャースのチーム練習は非公開で行われましたが、デーブ・ロバーツ監督はオンライン取材に対応。大谷が受け取った MVP トロフィーは、チーム EFFORT、チームの努力と記されたメッセージカードとともにクラブハウスに飾られていると明かしました。ロバーツ監督は、驚きはない。彼は本当に素晴らしいチームメイトだ。第4戦で大活躍したが、シリーズを通してスネル、山本、エドマン、テオスカー・ヘルナンデスらがそれぞれ結果を出しており、翔平もそのことを理解している。彼がどれほど素晴らしいチームメイトであるかを象徴している、と語りました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Okay. I did want to ask you about somebody we asked you about last year briefly.
Yes, sir.
We asked you last year about Shohei Ohtani going 50-50, right?
Oh, my God.
And the other night...
I just saw him hit a bomb the other night, right?
Well, he went through 6 innings, struck out 10, and then hit 3 home runs in the same game.
That is ridiculous, man. He did what?
6 innings, struck out 10, and then went 3 for 3 at the plate and hit 3 home runs in a closeout
game. Can they just hand him the MVP during the game?
I was going to ask you if you think that's the best individual performance, maybe not just in baseball, but for a single game in sports history.
Yeah, because he's doing something that's unfathomable. I'm not going to say sports history because I can't recant everything that has transpired in sports history. I've seen some wonderful tennis matches. I don't really watch golf, but I've seen some wonderful things that has transpired in sports that it's hard for me to say that, but that is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. It's so funny because when I'm in the cafeteria, the baseball games are on, and I'm thinking, dang, I really used to do that. But it's unbelievable. Everybody's throwing 95 and over now. like everybody's launching, they hitting bombs now. It's unbelievable, man, what this game has gotten to. But I like it because it's faster, it's quicker, and you're allowing it's many more guys. I hope he opens the door for others because there's many more pitchers. Not more, that don't sound right. Many pitchers that can do both, but they're never allowed to do so because they put them in a pocket and say, you just need to do that. So hopefully he opened the doors for others. We good?
Hey, Dave. With Yamamoto, it seems like he's developed a very close relationship with his interpreter, Hiro, over the last couple of years. And I was just kind of wondering, what you could maybe tell about Yamamoto's character, maybe the way he treats Hiro, maybe not just Hiro, but also a lot of the team's support staff.
Fantastic. I think Yamamoto is quite the gentleman, quite the high character. He's a great worker, knows what he wants to do, what he needs to do to get ready. And he treats everyone from Hiro to myself to all the support staff with the highest of respect.
Yeah, Dave, just go back to the championship talk. I mean, Mookie and others have kind of talked about legacy a lot, and you've kind of brought that up about some of your stars being motivated by legacy. What do you think 3 titles in 6 years would mean for their legacies in addition to what this would mean for the organization to be able to accomplish that?
Obviously with those particular players, they're talking about the Hall of Fame. And that's something that's a motivating, source for them, which is great. Still within the team constructs. And I think for the Dodgers, I think it just kind of puts us, on a Mount Rushmore of sports organizations. So there's been a lot of franchises that have done a lot of great things. And, right now in this point in time, we're just fortunate to be a part of, a great organization. We got to do our part.
Now, obviously, both these transactions went your way, but like you guys have you and the Blue Jays have kind of fought for Shohei Ohtani and Roki Sasaki the last couple of years. What do you think about sort of maybe like the sliding doors of these two teams being the two teams square off in the World Series with those two guys so prominent for you guys?
Yeah, obviously, we're very fortunate to have both those players. I think that they really feel good about their decisions to sign with us. But the Blue Jays ultimately got back to the World Series first time in, since 1990 or whenever it was. But that's a good question, good debate. But like you said, I'm happy that we won out and they chose us.
Speaking of Shohei, will he start in Game 3 or Game 4? And is there a possibility he could pitch in relief later in the series?
We haven't decided on Game 3 or Game 4. And as far as the relief, we just got to see how the series plays out. So right now, we just haven't made that decision.
I have another question.
Yes.
He left in his NLCS MVP trophy in the clubhouse and put a card on it. That's a team effort. What did that mean to you?
Well, for me, it's not a surprise because Shohei is such a great teammate. And, that award was a team effort. Shohei had a huge game in Game 4, but he realized that Games 1, 2, and 3, you could have had Snell, Yamamoto, Edman, any one of those guys, Teoscar, be a team MVP. So it was just good for him to recognize that. And that just shows, what a great teammate Shohei is.
Greg, it may not just be the greatest feat in baseball. I can take it the greatest feat maybe in all of sports. Let me explain to you why. It was the fashion in which he did it. Let's go to the videotape. Let me show you, if you weren't paying attention the other night, how different it is. Okay, he starts the game with a 100-mile-an-hour strikeout and then another 100-mile-an-hour strikeout that's painted down the way, and then a sweeper. Look at where this ball starts. It starts right in the middle. The hitter thinks, oh, I got a shot, and watch it break off the plate. This is textbook. He strikes out the side, all right? Because he's starting and leading off the game, he has to run in and take off everything. I got to get my arm guard, my helmet, my batting gloves. I'm ready to go to the plate to lead off the game for the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani gets into a 3-2 count, hits a breaking ball off a left-hander, which he'd been struggling, out of the ballpark, 446 feet. My goodness. Let's skip forward. He's into the fourth inning. The fourth inning, he breaks off another nasty sweeper, and then he ends it with a split. See you later, run in, and history is made. He's throwing 100 miles an hour, and then he hits one, not just another homer, but out of the ballpark. Out of Dodger Stadium. Forget the 469. That doesn't do it any justice. It's out of the stadium. Okay, who does this? Well, a guy who hit 3 homers in the game and struck out 10. Yes, that's Mr. Shohei Ohtani. All right, so the cool thing about being here at MLB Network, we have all this technology. So I want to take you in the batter's box for the Brewers and also on the mound for Shohei, and then I'll go back and show you what it looked like, the balls he hit. You ready for this? This is the beauty of this. I'll go to the mound. I'm Shohei Ohtani. You see the pitching graphic up there. That's the strike zone I got to go to. First inning, 100 miles an hour. You ready? Here's the strike 3 on the 100, his first strikeout. Boom, the pitch delivered right there. Boom, blew it by him. All right, 100 miles an hour. He's starting to warm up. He's feeling good. Next hitter, he comes back and paints it down and away to Yelich. Sorry, you're done. That's 2 strikeouts at 100 miles an hour. Let me show off now. I'll come back for the 3rd strikeout of the inning and throw you the sweeper. Starts in the middle and drops off the plate. So what he's doing to the Brewers, left-hand hitters and right-hand hitters, he's giving them nothing to hit. You always hear the phrase, hey, he's painting on them. Well, look at where these balls are at. That's when somebody's painting on you. He's able to go right here outside. He's ready to go in the middle because it's so powerful. Look at the height of that pitch. And then down and away to Yelich, the left-hander right there. That's what he does. Now, right ball that away. He goes running into the dugout. Here comes Shohei. He grabs his gear. He comes to the plate, and he gets into a 3-2 count. And let me show you what this ball is going to look like that he hits out of the ballpark. All right, here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's coming. Boom, right there. He catches it perfectly. Right here, finish it off, and look at the trajectory. Bye-bye, see you later, 446 feet. So after he does that, what's he do? He drops his bat. He runs back out to the mound. You can wipe away that home run, no problem. It's all history, because I'm going to start all over. Now we're in the 4th inning. You've already seen a 100-mile-an-hour fastball twice and a sweeper. So he says, hey, let me go ahead and show you my other parts of our arsenal. So he reaches back for the strikeout, his first strikeout in the 4th inning. Boom, a sweeper off the plate. That's for the 2nd out. And then he comes back for his 2nd strikeout and the 3rd out of the inning, and he throws a split right there. My goodness. The guy is putting the ball all over the place. He's gone power, and now he's going precision off the plate. And you're wondering, how do those end up being strikes when they're off the plate that much? Well, because his stuff was so good that that's what they had to protect from outside to inside to great power. He's all over the place, and he's tearing the hitters up. All right, wipe that away. So he's done pitching. Now the legend is made. He comes to the plate. He's got a 3-1 count. He's already hit a ball out of the ballpark in batting practice the day before, so he knows he's got that kind of power. 3-1 count. Here comes the pitch. He gets set, and it's going to be a pitch right here. Let me back up a little bit. Boom! All right? All his force, all his power, and look at the trajectory. It goes out of Dodger Stadium. Out of the stadium, folks. Okay, drop that graphic. That was great. That was cool to see. But, Greg, we are looking at one of the greatest performances ever in history, because he's throwing 100 for strikeouts and he's hitting the ball out of the stadium.